Welcome to the Life of Hair. My name's James Atkinson, and in this week's episode I'm going to show you a creative, short, asymmetric pixie cut on an older client, which is something that I don't think is done enough or talked about enough. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you do, then please hit the thumbs up button, and if you want to join the Life of Hair Digital Academy, it's linked in the description down below. So I'm going to start this haircut in the right hand side, and we're going to build up the length as we travel round to the left hand side. I'm going to start with a slightly graduated line, but I'm going to be disconnecting the perimeter to retain softness around the edge of the haircut. We're going to do some refining later in the video to adjust that, so make sure you stay till the end to see that. We're going to keep taking slightly diagonal back sections, pulling the hair out straight out from the head, and cutting this ever so slightly graduated line. It is only fractionally longer at the top than it is at the bottom. That still makes it graduation, however. One of the things I will say about building up a shape like this is that it's very flattering on most people's head shapes. Once we get behind the ear area that you can see here now, we will continue the line through to the perimeter. We want to leave a little bit of length through that perimeter edge in the back, but not anywhere near as much as we have done through the right hand side. I take subsequent sections, pulling the hair out and travelling around the head shape. Once I passed the centre back of the head, I continue to pull the hair straight back towards me to build up a little bit more length as I travel towards the front. You can now see that my cutting style has changed to a slightly point cut technique. And when I say a slightly point cut technique, I'm not softening into it loads and loads and loads. I'm just making it a little bit more jagged and continuing to overdirect each subsequent section from this point to the previous section as I travel through the haircut. It changes slightly when I get to the very front section, where I overdirect that back to a fixed point that is just behind the ear. This is to retain maximum length through the front. I'm also using a diagonal section so that I create a slightly diagonal transition from the front to the back. I then work through the top and I disconnect the right hand side that I've cut first off from the top. We'll do some visual blending later, but there will still ultimately be a disconnection in this area. Taking these horizontal sections across the head, elevating the hair straight up, straight out from the head shape, and point cutting off some of the length. Now the length that you choose is obviously entirely up to you, and it's at your discretion as to how much texture, layer, and how spiky you'd like the top of the hair to be. In this particular instance, I am going to move some of the subsequent length that I had left behind in previous haircuts from the longer side to create more texture through that longer side. Once I've gone through the entire top, I then go back using a section in the opposite direction and cross-check to make sure that I've not left behind any hair that I didn't want to leave behind. Now for me, the biggest part of all is the refining phase, especially when the hair is short. So what I tend to do is get my wet shape in quite quickly. I tend to work quickly on a commercial basis anyway, because we need to pay the bills, guys. Ultimately, this is the bit of the haircut that will separate me from the stylist standing next to me or the guys down the road. And so therefore I like to spend most of my time refining. So you can see here I've carved out the back hairline, I've cut a slightly diagonal shape in that front hairline, and I'm blending in that disconnection that I was talking about when we were cutting the hair wet through this right hand side. But as I go around this technique, I sort of see things and I tweak and modify as I go. I may refine this several times as I work my way around the head and kind of make the decisions about how I want the hair to sit. For example's sake, the hair over the ear here isn't sitting all that well, so I've got a good trick for that. You take a section of hair and then you cut the hair around the top of the ear away. So this gives the hair room to then sit over the ear without the hair underneath holding it up and making it stick out. So that's a really good little trick. It's kind of micro disconnection, if you will. Through the top, when you channel cutting technique, I've talked about this many times before, I think it's incredibly important that you learn to channel cut hair. If you've never done it, then give it a go. Do it tentatively to start with, have a practice on. mannequin head or your friend that won't kill you if you get it wrong. But here we go. In terms of creating texture, this is another great technique where you use the scissors and the comb. It's like a sort of texturizing technique that doesn't take quite as much hair away from the root area as you would find when you're using a channel cutting technique, but it does take really nice texture into the hair, and it's a very quick way of putting texture into the hair. And I also still use point cutting, because ultimately when you use channel cutting, it's not a substitute, it's a completely different technique, and you don't get the texture through the ends when you channel cut someone's hair. So if the ends still need loosening up for texture purposes, go back and just traditionally point cut the ends as well. But you know, as I'm working through these techniques, I'm also feeling the hair, making sure that I have lightened the hair enough and it will move, and I can put product in it, or the client can put product in it, and then they'll ultimately be able to style it themselves. I cleaned up the perimeters with a little bit of mini trimmer action, and I've put in that slightly dovetail hairline, and this is the finished result. A bit of wax to go on this, texturize it nicely. You could use sea salt spray, but you can see the texture and the movement and how soft all the perimeters are, and how it really creates a nice balanced shape. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again for another episode very, very soon.